Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bulldog Show. I'm Darrell Allen, along with Thomasville High School head football coach Jonathan DeLay. Dogs season comes to an end Friday night over in Savannah against Calvary Day, second round of the playoffs. And no matter how it goes down, Coach, coming to an end is always a hard thing to say.
Yeah, it's tough, especially when you see those seniors, and for some of them, it's their last game, last time they ever put on the pads. That's so sad. But the other night we played a really good football team, and watching our kids out there, there was never any quit. I mean, they to the last second, we were fighting tooth and nail, and that's you're proud of that. But again, just seeing those seniors at the end, that really gets you, because
senior walk.
Yeah, it's something it's good because they deserve that, but it's just so hard to watch those young men, see that their football playing career's over. Because I've been there before too, and it's one of them tough things to see.
I was proud of the fact that right up to the final whistle, we were out there getting after it.
Listen, we were. There were some figers out there. There was 11 fighters on both sides of the ball, trying to do everything they could to go make plays. There were some plays in the game and these are just little things that I saw. Levante and Messiah both. I told them, hey, because the kid was good, the kicker was good. I said, hey, listen, when they kick this off, do everything that you can to catch this ball in the field of play and go score. And Levante get the second kickoff, he catches one like over his head. And then Messiah does too. He almost jumps up to catch one just because they want to go do something special with it. And those are little things that you don't see those in the stat book, but as a coach, you see, hey, I got kids that are trying to go and do everything they can to make plays.
And that's being Bulldog football players.
Yeah.
And that's a legacy that senior class needed to leave.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And this group, we were 6-6 this year, but if you look back over their entire high school career, they've been a part of some special things, and I'm really proud of that group and how they, led us into the future.
All right, Coach, we've got some highlights of the entire season, and we're going to play those, and you and I'll talk about some of those things and other things as we go through, and a lot of excitement this year.
Yeah, when you look back at these things, you look all the way back to Brooks, first of all, the sun's out while the game's being played. It's not dark, but some of these things, it seems like forever ago that we were playing this game. We had a big start, first game of the year.
Against a really good rival.
Yeah, a really good team that's still playing in the playoffs. I mean, they're fixing to play Rabun in the quarterfinals, and we really did a good job that night, and just making plays. And there's a lot of young guys that played this year. Now they've got 12 games under their belt. We've got a lot of starters returning next year, which is huge because game reps are so important. Practice is huge. Practice is important. Practice is important for getting to the game. But when you're talking about experience, you want as many game reps as possible to make you experienced.
All right, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the off season. Tell us how that's going to go and what you hope to get accomplished.
Yeah, so when we get back from Thanksgiving break, we're going to have a team meeting. We'll have a big team meeting with everybody to kind of just put a bow on the end of this season with our seniors. We'll start taking up stuff, but the days after the team meeting, we'll meet by class. So that Monday, the team meeting, we'll meet with the seniors, talk about, what are your plans. We're going to do everything we can to get them to where they want to go. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be juniors, then sophomores and freshmen. And we'll have a team meeting that day kind of talking about how we're going to move into the off season. What are the goals? And I'll have some individual meetings with every single player, or exit meetings talking about their goals for next year, some things that they see that are going well, some things they see that can be better, because I want them to have a buy-in to the program. And then once we get,
and that'll include their academics.
Yeah, academically, football-wise, all that stuff is going to be included in that. Once we get to the new year, then we'll start our off-season lifting program, our 4-on-1s, and then we'll get into, once we get back to March, it's back to gut check. It's really on in March. You start your off-season lifting in January, your 4-on-1s, but in March, it's really when your big team activities start, when you do your gut check. And then we'll get into our installs, and then right back into spring ball. It'll be here before you know it. But right now it's going to be about finishing this semester strong, because we're a semester schools, so they'll get new classes after January. So, we're shooting for A's, B's at the worst, because those are the things that get you money when you go to college. So that'll be huge these next couple of weeks as well. But just, building for the future, you got our off-season lifting conditioning program, and then we'll move, into more of the team activity stuff.
And of course, Coach, winning football games occurs along the line of scrimmage, and that, to me, the offseason is really important for that, both sides of that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's one of the things you look at, on the defensive side of the ball, the line of scrimmage, you're really only losing one guy in Keyshawn. The offensive side of the ball, we've got Smiley, Logan Thomas, who played a lot there at the end for us, and Mac. Those are the three that we're losing there. But we've played so many guys on the offensive line that I feel like we have at least 4 starters coming back for us on the offensive line. And that's huge, but it's going to be a big offseason for them, getting bigger and stronger, and then working together as a unit in their 4-on-1s to understand, hey, these are certain things we've got to get better at and how we progress as those units.
And you look at your skill people, Coach, obviously starting with Cam, and then running backs back, receivers back. Got enough people there that we should be okay.
Oh, yeah. We got, really in the skill, like you said, Cam, Levante Leland, Ant, EJ, and then you bring back guys like Nigel, Messiah's coming back. You got some other guys that played in some spots. Demario Sawyer came on at the end for us and played a ton. He got a lot better. He's just 10th grader too. He'll be 11th grader. And then Trip Gable played a ton in the game the other night with Cole being out. You're losing Coleshaw, and that's a big one. He's a real good football player, and we're excited for him, what he's going to go do at Mercer. Mercer's getting a great football player, a great kid, and a great student too. He's a 4.0 student, and he works really hard at his academics and his athletics. So they're getting some good players there.
And you expect, Coach, players coming back, obviously you expect them to play better, but you also hope that some of those young players coming up will step up now.
Yeah, we've got some, we had a core group of 10th graders this year that played a bunch. Junior being a 9th grader, he played a bunch. Palacios being a 9th grader, he played a bunch. But you've got other groups of 10th graders that we've seen progress in our developmental and the JV stuff, and then just on scout team throughout the year. And then, you've got a group of 9th graders. Our 9th grade class isn't huge, but we've got there's 16 kids in there that at some point in their high school career, it may not be next year, might be junior and senior, but they're going to see the field. They're really good kids and they're talented, and so I'm excited to see what they're going to do in their future.
I was really, Coach, proud of Matthew Cannon the other night. I mean, Cole's not able to snap. Kiff goes down. He has to come in, and pressure situation did a great job.
Yeah, he did. That was something back. Let's see, I guess the gym was still standing down there one day, and we were like, hey, Matthew, you're a big body. Let's see if you can snap. And he's really taken to it, really worked on it. And the first one, it wasn't the best snap, and he knows that. And here's the thing, you get thrown in the lights in the second round of the playoffs, that's the first time you're snapping in a game. That's tough. But then he came on, and he did a great job for us all night, really, after that first one. I was really proud of him. And he's worked hard at it. He'll continue to work hard at it this offseason, because that's something that when you're going and building a team and thinking about a team, for the last 4 years we hadn't had to think about a long snapper because we had Cole, and we had Mason Beckham with Cole his first year, and so that's just something we hadn't had to think about. And now during that time where you do got to think about it, and Matthew's done a great job, and he's going to be a junior next year, so you got him for 2 more years, and we'll try to train up a 9th or a 10th grader next year to get him in there, because that's a huge position. I mean, when you talk about kicking
great way
extra,
to get on the field.
Oh yeah, and when you talk about kicking extra points and punting and kicking field goals, you got to be strong up the middle. You got to have a great snap, great hold, great kick, and that's something that you got to have. We're going to miss Andrew and his punts, and Colby and his kicks. We're graduating 3 kickers with Andrew, Colby, and Seth. But we've got a 9th grader who's going to be a 10th grader, Camden Christie. He's gotten, from where he started in the spring to where he is now, the ball sounds completely different coming off his foot. Really looking forward to what he's going to be able to do for us next year. And again, that's the thing about Andrew and Colby and Seth. They work so hard at their craft. I mean, going off other places and getting with guys who could teach them how to kick, and they've brought Camden along with them and said, hey, man, look, you know, this is what it takes to kick at this level, and Camden soaks everything up, and he comes every day ready to work. He's trying, you know, he's like Andrew and Colby and them, you know, trying new things, trying different techniques, and working hard, and you know, that comes from that leadership of those older guys.
That's right, Coach. You're talking about the long snapper on punts a while ago. So many times we saw Cole Shaw down the field making a tackle, making a cover. And that's what that long snapper has to do. Not only just snap the ball, but to get down the field.
Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate to have a guy that could snap and run, and that's, you know, that's what you want out of that. I remember back 2018, we went to Cairo, and our long snapper was down, and Larry Williams,
right,
who was the center, and he wasn't the most fleet of foot, but buddy, he snapped that thing, and he was running down the field. But you got to have guys, you know, on the special teams that snap and run, and we got to, you know, we played a lot of our top guys on special teams, and that's the way, you know, if you're going to be an elite team, you've got to have your best players on the field at all times, and they call it special teams because it's special. You know, it's a one play and out deal, and you got to be able to execute. You know,
can win or lose football games with it.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, you know, you think of how many punts we downed inside the 20. You know, we returned a kickoff for a touchdown this year. We returned kicks for, you know, block punts, returned kicks to put us in field position. You know, defensively, on the defensive side of the ball, you know, as we watch some of these clips right here, you know, we're going to miss Keyshawn. You know, we've been fortunate the last 2 years at defensive end to have 3 kids that play those 2 spots, and you're going to have Zay Clark. He's coming along too. He's going to be an 11th grader next year. And then on the back end, you know, Don and Tyreek, they came and made really big plays. You know, Don had 2 or 3 fumble recoveries in that Harlem game, and Tyreek's been consistent for us all year. You know, he played safety and corner. And then you throw Nigel in there the last couple of games. He's played on both sides of the ball. You know, the twins, you know, they're just 10th graders. They'll be juniors next year for us. And then you got Junior back there. He'll just be a 10th grader. So we've got
Joe Douglas at linebacker.
Joe Douglas at linebacker. You know, Kiff, Devin Lewis, Levante came back there the other night. You know, he had 6 tackles and a sack, something like that. First time playing linebacker in the game. That's pretty good. And then, you know, we've already talked about running back, but, you know, we got them all back. You know, and there's 2. You know, you got Makari Williams, who's a 9th grader. You know, he may end up being the punter next year because that thing pops off of his leg. But he can play running back. Ricardo Hudson, he's another one that can play running back. They're going to find places to play. We're going to, you know, the biggest thing this offseason is, you know, we got to get in that weight room. We got to get stronger. And, you know, we got to continue to grow in our mental toughness and then our team leadership. I mean, those are the 3 things for any team that have to improve on a yearly basis in order for you.
And coaching, having enough players where they're competing for spots is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You know, we're gonna have a bunch of guys competing for a bunch of spots, and looking forward to that in the spring. And we're gonna have a bunch of guys that have game experience. You know, and it's just about, you know, hey, let's get better at our craft. Let's get better physically, athletically, and then go and have some fun next year.
All right, Coach. A little new look for us next year, and we can talk a little bit about the schedule. And although the contracts haven't been signed, we think this is the way it's going to be. Open with Brooks County, then home against Pelham, on the road against Cairo, and back home against Thomas County Central. Then we'll go into not a new region, really. I mean, it's almost the old 1AA. I mean, it's up for a few changes, but of course, we'll be in the region along with Fitzgerald, Worth, Berry, and then the new teams we'll see will be Brantley County, Bacon County, and Jeff Davis. So we'll have 6 region games, four non-region games, and should be it's a very good schedule, and it should be a very competitive region.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, there's some old rivalries in there. You talk about Fitzgerald and Worth, especially. You know, Berrien. That's some, like you said. Really, to me, when they went down to the 6 classifications, single A Division I is just old AA, and you know, there's a lot of teams that we're very familiar with, and I'm excited to be back in those regions with those guys because you know what you're going to get. You know the kind of physical football it's going to be with Fitzgerald, Worth, and Berrien, and then those other teams. You know, Jeff Davis, we've played them here back in 2017 in the playoffs. They will hit you, and then Bacon and Brantley. Haven't played them since I've been at Thomasville, but I just know, it's South Georgia football, and I know that they've been in those South Georgia regions, so it's a different thing. And then the non-region schedule, I'm really excited about that one. You got Brooks, Pelham. We're going to do a home and home with them, and then K-Rowan Central. That I feel like that's
very tough.
It's a super tough, and it's also a rivalry every week. You got a team that's close to you, that fans know each other and the kids know each other, and really that's what high school football should be. That's what South Georgia football is. There's a lot of good teams down here, and you want to play those good teams, and so you can build up your team going into region play.
All right, Coach. Also exciting news off the field is hopefully by spring our field house will be complete and our football team can move in there. What a great addition that's going to be, and what a help it's going to be to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to Dr. Rayfield for getting all that stuff, the ball rolling back in the summer. But I mean, the crew that's working on it, I mean, they're out there every day, sometimes before school starts and stuff. And they're coming right along with that thing. We're excited to get in it. We're supposed to be in it at some point during the spring. And this year we had to adjust. We had to go across the street, and we made the most of it. And actually, we had a ton of space over there at the high school. We got plenty of room to do stuff. I guess if you want to say the worst part was just having to cross the street to go to practice. We made the most of it, made that work.
Make it work, that's right.
We never played Frogger across the street, so we did a good job there, kids and coaches getting across the street.
And we really, Coach, this year traveled a lot. I mean, we went to Columbus and all around, but no better venue than Veteran Memorial Stadium.
I know it. And that's the thing, when you think about, especially in these playoffs, that's why it's so important. We got to do a better job next year. We got to go into those region games, and we got to go win those region games so that we can play home playoff games. Because like I said, we'll play anywhere. It doesn't matter. But we have the ability to give ourselves the opportunity to play at home. We need to do that going into next year. And I think, with this bunch that we have coming back, it's going to be about getting that team chemistry and that team bond right. But I feel really good going into this offseason about where we can get to.
All right, Coach, as we wind down here on the Bulldog Show for 2023, just a few people we need to thank. First of all, CNS and Austin Range for letting us do this each week, and get a good way to get the word out to the Bulldog fans about what's going on and how things are going. And I appreciate you coming every week and being willing to do this. And sometimes it's not easy, but you always make it that way.
Well, it's like you said, this show isn't for us. It's not for me and you. It's for our kids and our community and our fans. And we're real thankful to Austin for being flexible with us and working with us. And I appreciate you, Darrell, coming out and facilitating these things. You're a professional at this.
Thank you.
I just come along for the ride.
Well, no, you're much more than that, and I just appreciate y'all letting me be a part of it. So this is going to kind of wind us up for 2023, but as you just heard, we're looking forward to 2024. The Bulldog Show will be back with all the highlights next year.